Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamey Daddy channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today played a legendary mission, and it was a long legendary mission. So one of the things that you'll notice if you've been playing the Division for a bit is, you play some of these missions and they can take a little bit of time. So what that tells me is maybe we have a lot of new players, and that's actually usually the case. Some people play the game, they have a lot of XP, but it's just because they're having fun. The fundamentals of the game are not necessarily, something that they prioritize, and they don't really care. So today I wanted to take the opportunity to make a video about the SVD. Now, this is a marksman rifle that actually fires in a semi-automatic, pattern. Its rate of fire is actually very high. It is different from your bolt-action marksman rifles, and I'll talk a little bit about how you can use it and why I use it, and why I believe that, strongly, anybody who wants to use a sniper build is something that they can consider. Now, I also understand, that at the end of the day, there are people in the community who have also already let me know that, okay, they prefer a bolt action rifle than this, and they have their reasons for, doing so. Now, the SVD is a weapon that has been in the game since the Division 1. In fact, it's something, let me just take this guy out real quick. It's something that's, kind of a legacy weapon in the Division franchise and has been a legacy weapon for a long time. So, I can't hit a single thing. Let's go. Oops, let me take this fool out real quick. Ooh, hit that guy 2 shots. So that's kind of how it works. You can really spam fire. I mean, there's a little bit of the side of you being somewhat, used to it, but honestly, because if you're using a controller, auto aim, or if you're using a mouse, if you set it on, that kind of comes into place. Okay, so that's what this weapon is designed to do: burst out high amounts of damage, in a very short amount of time. And yeah, there's a marksman rifle, sniper trying to mess with me. So this is the SVD. So why do I think this SVD is really good? Because it's really good. If you build with it very well, if you actually take the time to knock out enemy NPCs, if you actually, take the time to spec into headshot damage, spec into marksman rifle damage, it really gets the job done. And this is the proper way to use it. You also have to make sure that you're using things like a specialization that allows for it to actually work very well and give you good balance. So if you're new to the game, or you're somebody who's been looking at the weapon and trying to say, what am I going to do with this weapon? How am I going to use it? I believe strongly that the game is designed very, in a narrow sense anyways, on how these particular builds, especially marksman rifles, are designed to work. Today, though, we're going to look very carefully as to how you can properly use this weapon. Now, again, I told you guys at the beginning of this video, I played a legendary mission and it was really long. And I saw some things that I don't want to necessarily point out too much, but I feel it's an opportunity for a teachable moment in order for us to be able to kind of come together and see, okay, how or what ways can we open up the dialogue so that new players can start gleaning information from things that, the game actually, has, and the way they can use it properly. The SVD has been there since the beginning of, I think somewhere around the middle of Division 1, beginning of Division 2, though. It really started to gain prominence in the raids, and for many people, they've used the marksman rifle build system for it. So I'm using headshot damage bonuses. I'm using critical hit chance bonuses. I'm also using something called opportunistic. Because I run this build in a group, I use the opportunistic talent, which says enemies you hit with shotguns and marksman rifles amplifies the damage they take by 10% from all sources for 5 seconds. So when I hit an enemy NPC, my damage is amplified by 10%. So amplification of my damage is multiplied by 10%. I'm also using the Walker Harris brand sets, which allow for me to be able to gain an extra 5% weapon damage and an extra 5% damage to armor, which if an enemy has armor, I'm going to be damaging their armor at an increased rate of 5%. I'm using the Fox's Spear and knee pads because I like the damage to targets out of cover. I also like the 11.9 critical damage that I was able to roll on there. I don't have the max crit damage, which is crazy. And I'll optimize it to get myself the extra 13% weapon damage to 15% here in a little bit. And then I'm also using a Walker Harris a holster for Walker Harris as well. My chest piece is my pristine example chest piece, which is using the Heraldi Holdings Marksman Rifle brand sets, which gives me 10% Marksman Rifle. So if you're going to run a Marksman Rifle, you need to make sure that you prioritize these things. You must have at least one piece Heraldi, and you can mix and match with other things that you feel need to suit your build. Again, as a marksman using this particular weapon, you must, and I'm saying must, because this is how it needs to be run. If you're going to be running a marksman for full damage, this is what you must do. Now, yeah, you could do whatever you want. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying that, these rules require, they're very strict when it comes to this particular build paradigm. And so with this, you have the sharpshooter specialization. There are a few things that makes this specialization really special. It sounds weird, but it is. It's unique, and it does the job for you as a marksman. So this says 15% increased headshot damage with rifles and marksman rifles. So you're getting this bonus, which is your one in the head. You're also getting this bonus here that actually allows for you to gain extra armor while you're in cover. This is really good because as a marksman, your armor value is more than likely going to be very, very low. If you notice, I'm sitting at 677,000 armor. Now, if I were to say maybe, any of my other builds, this is even my status effect build. It's got, more armor than my marksman rifle build. And it has not even one single red, or it doesn't even have a, yeah, it has one blue. So that gives me a little bit more armor. I get it. And then my other builds also have, they seem to have more armor. And then my tank builds, they're pushing, 1.5, 1.7. If I do well, they'll be at 2 million armor. So that's kind of the deal that you're getting using that, perk, or, using your marksman rifle specialization, which is the sharpshooter. Then another one is your round after round. This is, in my opinion, one of the really strong passive talents in the Division 2. We've had passive talents and active talent systems, for a long time in the Division game. In the Division 1, we had an entire talent tree where you could mix and match. You could only pick 4 of these things from 3 different, I would say, paths. And so this is how we did it. Now with the Division 2, you have these huge specialization trees that have replaced them and actually do somewhat of a good job in their own way, if you get what I mean, because a lot of those talents that were in the Division 1 were actually put on our brand sets and our gear sets. So that's kind of how they kind of flushed it out. Basically, they rinsed and repeated the game, but they did it in a stylish way. This round after round talent allows for you to gain 5 marksman and 5 rifle ammo every 10 seconds. So that's only after 20 seconds you've been in cover. And so this is exactly what this talent will do. You'll find out that as a marksman, because of the weapon class that you're using, there's not a lot of rounds that your weapons can carry, say compared to like a shotgun, which is even carrying more, or if I was using maybe an assault rifle. But as you stay in cover long enough, you're going to notice that after about 20 seconds, a lot of your you're going to realize that you're going to keep getting ammo, as well as armor, the bonus armor that you're getting. Yeah, my armor value is not really high, but then round after round, you're going to notice that I'm going to keep getting my, my ammo back. It's going to continue. Do you see that? It's going to continue to 5 marksman rifle ammo. It's already replaced, and I'm going to just keep getting it back over and over again. This is a big deal because as a marksman rifle, you cannot afford, or as a marksman, you can't really afford to go anywhere while you're in cover shooting. You need to be shooting, and you need to make sure that you're not running around, especially in the much more difficult mission, the mission types. You really need to be in cover shooting, and so it's nice for you to be able to gain that, ammo as you're going. And you're going to notice you're going to probably reach a threshold of about 75 to 80 rounds, depending on how well you build, depending on how much you hit hard. And, like I said, again, being in a group, I'm giving my group a lot of buffs. And so a lot of enemies, once I mark them, I'm just getting the marks in because that's all I want to do. I'm not in the business of trying to 100% always damage the enemies. Now, if I was building to maybe 100% damage all the enemies, then, oh yeah, that's a whole different build style. And at that point, I'm going to do things slightly differently, but still, again, this particular talent works wonders. And then for your side or your secondary weapon, you want something that really does a very good job. Some people use, some sidearms that will give you a very high damage value. In the case of some people run Liberty Exotic. Some people will run a sidearm that has this one talent that's very popular. Everybody runs it. Can't remember the name because I don't even bother with it, but it's a very good talent on your sidearm. If I remember the name, I'll write it in the comment section for you guys. And then, for me, I use a Scorpio because if an enemy NPC runs up on me, I am going to pretty much just stun them and put a status effect on them. And my Scorpio hits really hard, by the way. I mean, my status effects are not bad at all with their damage as well. So if I have an enemy NPC come close, I can stun them for a little bit, get my balance, maybe change locations, and then do something of that nature. So that's pretty much a very short synopsis on this weapon and how I feel you can run it. This is designed for the new players who are coming into the game, who are probably enjoying themselves, having fun, just wanting you to know that there are better ways to actually structure your build in order for you to be able to do well in the Division 2 and even have more fun. I mean, just imagine the power creep or the power jump if you were to pair these things or actually synergize these things properly. I believe they're going to really, really be a very fun venture for you. Thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys so much. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you have any questions, leave them below. Peace out.